Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is Undershield of course, and welcome back to some more World of Tanks. This time we're taking a look at the tier 8 heavy Russian tank, the KV-4, and this thing is painfully slow, but we will get into that more later. I got it equipped with the high tier 107mm gun, which gives you a little bit more penetration than the 120mm one, obviously with a withdraw on the alpha damage. So alpha damage, instead of over 400, you get 320 alpha damage and about 229 penetration with standard ammunition. If you go for the high tier ammunition, the gold ammunition, that gives you almost 290 penetration, so you can most definitely penetrate any tank on the battlefield from almost any angle as long as the shot is well placed. You also get a little bit more accuracy and better aim time thanks to it being a lower caliber gun compared to the 120mm, and obviously better reload time, but that doesn't always help you since this is kind of more of a brawler tank. You more want to like shoot than side scrape, shoot then side scrape, that kind of deal. But this tank is beautiful for these kinds of maps. This is actually my first time playing the new Paris Eiffel Tower map, and I quite liked it as a heavy tank player. It was really fun to play. I found this spot here where I can side scrape really well and use the heavy armor on this tank to my full benefit, or whatever you want to call it. So we already got 2 nice shots into some high tier tanks, which feels really good. Now the KV-4 and the FV422P, or what the hell it's called, but he's just screwed. I don't really know what he was thinking. He's a medium tank as well, so that was kind of dumb. I can't believe I actually fucking, like, my shell bounced on him. That's really strange. But yeah, the armor on this thing is great. You got 180 armor in the front. However, that is actually the weak spot on this tank, because it's so badly angled. It's almost a flat 90 degrees, so you need to angle it heavily. But what's good is that you got 150mm of armor on the sides of the hull, so as long as you pretty much angle your tank like this, 45 degrees, you should be able to bounce most of the things from tier 8 and 9 tanks, unless if they are clever and aim for the under part of your turret, which is pretty much the weakest spot if you angle the hull correctly. So I usually try to angle the turret a little bit as well, but now I'm kind of stuck, but I'm still bouncing a lot of shells, as you can see. Sadly though, they have updated the game now, so you can see how much damage you have bounced in total, but not with the mod I'm using. You can actually see the damage you've done as well, but it's not as well presented as in the XVM mod, so I prefer still having the mod, especially for playing the game, because I don't really care how much I bounced in total. I care more about who I've shot and how much damage I've done to them, so I know if I'm close to getting some medals and that kind of stuff. But as you can see, this is pretty much almost the perfect angling. I might have over-angled here a little bit, but I go for that cheeky shot on the AMX-50B for some quick points. I mean, he is tier 10 after all, so it's not exactly bad getting some shots in on him. Same thing goes with this guy, the M103. Sadly though, I bounced it and just, I think his track ate most of my shell. That's the bad thing. You can't always win. Let's go for a second try, and this time we got him. We get a low roll though, so only 262 damage instead of 320. That's fucking 60 damage missing, like what the fuck? And then the wall eats one of my shells, so I'm like, god damn it! Now I have almost no health left, and there's tons of enemy tanks just fucking coming close to me. Luckily though, this guy angles himself a little bit too much. I managed to get one in on the side armor, making it a nice 2,224 damage in total, and 1 kill, which is not bad. And I managed to bounce his shell. 500 damage just wasted there pretty much. I think he shot my turret actually. That's probably where he hit that one to miss that so badly. But yeah, this tank doesn't have anything that's really good. The only time this tank is good and fun to play is literally in city maps like this one, where you don't have to drive far to get to the enemy, and there's a lot of cover so you can side scrape and angle your tank properly and get out of danger and get into cover again after you shoot, because This thing is just a fucking lumbering giant. It is so goddamn slow, but the side armor is slightly angled, like 45 degrees or something like that even, I think, like downwards. It kind of looks like a boat underneath, so you can actually bounce really well with the side armor compared to the front armor, even though it's 30mm less armored. Get a nice shot onto the objective 268, but he is turning around and I'm like, oh no, I'm fucked. Lucky though, the 183 gets, and I'm like, oh fuck me, my match would have been over there. So we're up to 2,853 damage, and we were low tier tank as well, so you probably know what that means. We've done a pretty goddamn good job, especially since we've done not twice the amount of damage. We have hit points, but this tank does have, I believe, the most hit points out of any tier 8 heavy, to be honest. There might be one more, maybe the KV-4 have it, I'm not quite sure, slightly more hit points, but that has those like R2-D2's turrets like in the front, the mini turrets for the like machine guns or whatever, or low caliber guns, and you can so easily penetrate those that it's not even fun to play that tank. But it also has pretty trolley armor as well. But yeah, this tank is probably one of the most boring tanks I've ever played in this game, to be honest, because it's so slow, it takes forever to get into the action. The armor, sure, you can use it good most of the time, but if people load premium, they will be able to penetrate you. You really need to work hard to make this tank work. The gun isn't exactly great, the damage isn't exactly great, the penetration isn't exactly great. It's everything is mediocre or bad with this tank, pretty much except the armor. So it's not the most fun tank to play, so I'm actually really happy to be able to say I finally got the Ace Tank Master badge with it. Shellproof, Fire for Effect, Bruiser, and Confederate. Pretty nice. I'm so happy I finally got my Master's badge, because I really want to have one Master's badge on each tank, or at least like decent tanks. But I don't even have a really good crew, so I'm quite happy with that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.